my name is Samantha, and I'm in my second year of education. Hi, my name is Samantha, and I'm in my second year of education. I'm super excited to be able to teach kids, and ever since I was a little girl, I love doing it, so I'm really pumped. However, I'm also very nervous at the same time because I don't know COVID is a thing, and I don't know a lot of how to deal with it in the classroom quite yet, so I'm excited to figure it out, of course. But a little about me is I love to shop, I love kids, I love animals, I love cats. I have 2 brothers, and I was raised by a single mom.
So this is my one little baby girl, Rosie. She's super shy, innocent, little cutie. I'm trying to get her face. This is my Sheldon. He is really young, but he makes me happy.
This course has been a lot of fun for me. It is by far probably my favorite class out of all the classes I'm in right now. Cynthia was a great seminar leader. I loved having her. But enough chat, let's dive into why I would be a good educator and my pedagogy. I can't even say it. Yeah, let's dive right in.
The blogs really influenced my understandings of certain topics, like in this reading, Kumashiro defined that common sense would be considered as a routine that is done consistently, that is, all the students will ever know. So the U.S. is providing education with different teaching methods that engage students by also using techniques using diversity into certain teaching methods and forms of oppression. Kumashiro was also being critiqued by students because he was not following what others knew as normal. So he went there to try and teach other methods to these students that had certain ways that were normal to them, but they needed to identify problems and communicate with others to get through this process of common sense. Curriculum to me makes sense and should be followed. However, I do think it can be taught in many different forms that engage learners to actually learn rather than just memorize and study a textbook for an exam. It can be done using experimental learning and educating people on oppression. Common sense should be talked about as it is our day-to-day routines and experiences, but we just need to be mindful of other cultures and countries that have different day-to-day routines and understandings from what we have of what education is to them. It should be talked about and understood, but also educating to each and every one of you individuals. In one of my very last blogs, we are talking about indigenizing the curriculum, and this week's reading, Calvin, includes multiple resources on what to do if an educator wanted to indigenize their teaching practice. He states one way would be to develop relationships within their local indigenous communities and spending time with elders who have knowledge to support your teaching, and it would create a great understanding of different perspectives and teaching approaches. So once you begin to learn them, you begin to understand the process of how you see the world from an indigenous perspective. So comparing the two, you can see that we were talking about common sense in different cultures, and then we just kind of dive deep into indigenizing the curriculum as that is Saskatchewan's stance. In my classroom, I want every student to feel invited and safe, and I want there to be multiple diversities being taught throughout the classroom so everybody feels welcome. For my pedagogy, I will always make my students aware of certain topics and comments that will not be tolerated. I will try my best to make sure my students feel welcome as I create a sense of safety in our community so children do not have to worry about comments that are stereotypical to them and offend them. These type of topics need to be taught in order to educate people who are unaware of past histories and the topic of racism.